On such the second death has no power, but they shall be priests of God and of Christ, and shall reign with him 1,000 years.
This is that peace he was talking about in Hebrews chapter 4, where you reign for him for 1,000 years. You want to be in that peace in the first resurrection.
Amen.
Go ahead, brother.
And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison.
I told you you're going to be loose now. Go ahead.
And shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea.
How many is the sand of the sea? Can you count the sand of the sea? It's going to be so many people that follow Satan at this time. And they're going to mount up an army and try to take God down, Jesus down in his kingdom. Watch what he said right here. Go ahead.
And they went up on the breadth of the earth, and compassed the camp of the saints about, and the beloved city, and fire came down from God out of heaven and divided them.
So they came up and mounted the army, and God delivered fire down and killed them instantly. Bam. Only because Satan came out at the end of 1,000 years for a short amount of time. He deceived that many people just that small a time. This joke is powerful right here, man. If you ain't got the book to fight him, you won't win. Everybody's saying, well, Eve, I don't see how Eve went for that. Man, this cat right here deceived a third of the angels out of God's house in heaven. You better have this book to fight him, because he's really persuasive. Go ahead.
Verse 10. And the devil,
Go ahead, bro.
excuse me. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophets are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever.
This is where he going to be. But notice, Satan didn't even go. Satan wasn't the first person in the lake of fire.
Amen.
The beast and the false prophet were already there burning for 1,000 years. But this is a lesson, but in Jesus' kingdom, you're going to be able to go up and see the beast and the false prophet burning. It's going to be a great gulf between us and them, but you're going to see them burning in the lake. That lake going to be in Jesus' kingdom, a fire. That's another lesson, but go ahead.
And I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away.
Yes, sir.
And there was found no place for them.
That's the great white throne judgment. But everybody going to have to be judged that didn't make it in that first resurrection. Go ahead.
And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God, and the books were open, and another book was open, which is the book of life.
What books are open? What books? He said the books were open, and then the book of life. This Bible right here, this is the book.
Amen.
And the Bible is another word called biblos, meaning compounded of books. Everything that's written in the Bible, you're going to be judged by. He's going to open these books up. Let me see what you did about my law and all these different type of books. He's going to open them up. Everybody going to be judged by these books to see if we can get in the book of life. Go ahead.
And another book was open, which is the book of life. And the dead was judged out of those things which were written in the book, according to their work.
Wait a minute. They told me once I accept Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, I ain't got to work no more. Salvation is a free gift, right? What did that just say right here? What you going to be judged off of? Your words. Everything that we do in these bodies will be judged by the book. That's why it's so important for us to read and understand the book. So when you do something wrong, you can ask God for repentance. Go ahead.
And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them.
Yes, sir.
And they were judged every man according to their work.
Keep saying them works. Go ahead.
And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death.
You know what I mean by death and hell? Meaning that there's no more dying no more. There's no person who will be buried again. Nobody will die again. Hell, cast in. in the lake of fire. No more death no more. No more flesh and blood. Everybody gonna be spiritual some type of way in the lake of fire or in the kingdom. They ain't gonna die no more. I said, this is the secondary. The secondary is, you don't want to be in that lake of fire. Go ahead.
And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire.
All that happened within Jesus' kingdom. Now we get into the 8th day. After he done made the judgment, after the second resurrection, after the great white throne judgment, which is after the second resurrection. Now he done did all that. The Father said, now I'm ready to bring my kingdom down. Go ahead. Revelation 21 and verse 1. Go ahead.
And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away.
Meaning that it's going to be totally new. Everything. The earth didn't pass away. The earth going to be here forever. He's just talking about what's the system that we know of. It's not going to be the same.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
And there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
This is the tabernacle. This is the ingathering. This is the day right here that we are trying to get to, which is the 8th day.
Praise the Lord.
8th day. Ingathering. You got to gather into Jesus' kingdom, then you got to gather into the Father's kingdom. We got to go through this. Go ahead.
And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of God is with me.
Wait a minute. The tabernacle of God? What is the tabernacle? That city that your mama said, my grandma up in heaven walking around on streets of gold. Stop lying. She in the grave, waiting on the resurrection. Like we all gonna be waiting on it if we die before time. Your grandma ain't in heaven, your grandpa ain't in heaven, your child that died, he ain't in heaven. All of them in the grave waiting, just like David in the grave waiting. He said, I'm going to bring this city down on the day that is new, which is the 8th day. Go ahead. 3 again.
And I heard a great voice out of heaven say, behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them, and be their God.
See, God and Jesus are going to be there together at the same time. The Father won't even take part in Jesus' kingdom, not being there at all. But in the Father's kingdom, Jesus and the Father will be there. Go ahead. They're going to tell you.
And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain. For the former things are passed away.
Yes, sir. Wait on it. Go ahead.
And he that sat upon the throne said, behold, I make all things new. And he said,
yes, sir.
Unto me, write, for these words are true and faithful.
Go ahead.
And he said unto me, it is done. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of the water of life freely.
This is not talking about liquid. Because he said in verse 1, he said there will be no more seas. He talking about the word. I'm going to give it to him. Yes. Meaning that you will have all the knowledge that the Father had, that the Son had. You will know why he did all this. I'm very curious about this. Very curious. You should be too. Instead of curious about how much money I'm going to make, how many girlfriends I can get, how many boyfriends I can get. This is what people are curious about in this world today. Ain't nobody curious about this right here. This is very important, ain't they? Very. Go ahead.
He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he shall be my son.
Yes, sir. We got to overcome something. Go ahead.
But the fearful and unbelieving, and the abominable, and murderers, and whoremongers, and sorcerers, and idolaters, and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death.
That's self-explanatory. Check yourself out and see if you're one of these people. People only believe God when it's going good. People only believe God when they feel safe. When they fearful, God said, no weapon shall form up against you shall prosper. Did he say the weapon wouldn't form up? He said it wouldn't prosper, so it's going to form. It's going to try to sell you some wolf ticket like you're going to do something to me because of what I'm doing with the scripture. Like if I'm not eating, if I'm not celebrating Christmas with y'all, most people get fearful like, man, my family ain't going to love me no more.
That's right.
They'll get over it. They will get over it. Stop worrying about it. Stop being fearful. Want to be light. Forget light. I want to be a God. That's what I want to be. You should too. Go ahead.
Verse 9. And there came unto me one of the seven angels which had the seven veils,
Yes, sir.
full of the seven last plagues, and talked with me, saying, Come hither, I will show thee the bride, the Lamb's wife.
Who is the bride?
Jesus.
Is it Jesus or the church?
He the bride.
We the bride.
Amen.
We the bride. He gonna say, come on in on the 8th day in the Father's kingdom. Go ahead.
And he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain, showed me that great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from God.
They told me I was going up to the holy Jerusalem, walk on streets of gold, right?
That's what they
But
said.
God told me right here, he's going to descend down out of heaven to the earth in Jerusalem. It's so simple when you can read it and understand it, instead of going out what preacher pork chop say. I said I wasn't going to do that. But go ahead.
Verse 11. Having the glory of God, and her light was like unto a stone most precious,
Yes, sir.
even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal.
So when this city comes down, it's going to be very beautiful. Very beautiful. Something that you ain't seen before. Going to be made out of precious stone. Jump down to verse 14. Read a little bit of this, man. Go ahead.
And the wall of the city had 12 foundations, and in them the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb.
So you got the 12 apostles of the Lamb, meaning the 12 disciples. Their names going to be on there. When that rich man refused to walk with Jesus, this is where he turned away. This is where he turned away. Go ahead.
And he that talked with me had a golden reed to measure the city, and the gates thereof, and the wall thereof. And the city lieth foursquare, and the length is as large as the breadth. And he measured the city with the reed, 12,000 furlongs. The length and the breadth and the height of it are equal.
Yes, sir. He just going through the description how the city is made, what it's made of. Jump down to verse 22. Go ahead.
And I saw no temple therein, for the Lord God Almighty and the Lamb are the temple of it.
So it's two right there. The Father and the Son right there.
Hallelujah.
The tabernacle. Go ahead.
And the city had no need of the sun, neither of the moon, to shine in it, for the glory of God did lighten it, and the Lamb is the light thereof.
Do you understand what this means? When he said the heaven shall depart like a scroll, meaning that all that stuff you see up there in heaven, the stars, the moon, the sun, all that stuff, he gonna wipe that out.
Yes.
He said, I'm here, I'm the light. So everything you couldn't see, it's like the planet Earth is in a bowl. And the bowl is the solar system. And that's all it is. He got us in a little bubble, and he working out, we working out our salvation in this one bubble, which is upon earth. He gonna rip all that out in the third heaven. He gonna actually show you what he doing. That's powerful. Go ahead.
And the nations of them which are saved shall walk in the light of it.
Yes, sir.
And the kings of the earth do bring their glory and honor into it. And the gates of it shall not be shut at all by day, for there shall be no night there. And they shall bring the glory and honor of the nations into it. And there shall in no wise enter into it anything that defileth,
Yes, sir.
neither whatsoever worketh abomination, or maketh a lie, but they which are written in the Lamb's book of life.
This is for a particular set of people on the 8th day to get in there. Revelation 22 and start verse 12. I want to read this. I ain't in the lesson. But this is the last one. Verse 12. We must do something to get in this kingdom. Go ahead.
And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me,
Yes, sir.
to give every man according as his work shall be.
Man, we in the last book of the Bible, the last chapter. After 22, there's no more pages. And he's still talking about work. Work. Go ahead.
I am Alpha and Omega,
Yes, sir.
the beginning and the end,
Mm-hmm.
the first and the last.
Yes, sir.
Blessed are they that do his commandments.
That do what?
His commandments.
So you got to do them. Do them. Is it more than just 10, y'all? That's just the foundation. That's just the foundation. He telling us. Then if we do the commandment, this is what we must. This is what we're gonna get. Go ahead.
That they may have right to the tree of life,
Yes, sir.
and many enter in through the gates into the city.
That's the tabernacle. The 8th day. To enter into those 12 pearly gates that they tell us all the time about. Gabriel right there at the gates. Stop lying. Gabriel ain't there no gate. Where you get that from? It ain't even in the book. All this stuff right here is written for our edification so we can understand God's plan. Get into the movie. You get into your own episodes on your shows on TV, on your DVR, you record them and all this stuff. It's recorded right here. Go to the DVR, the Bible. You can go press play right now. Now I press play. I open the book up. Jeremiah chapter 10. Okay, let's press play. Let me learn about what the episode said. Revelation chapter 22. Let me press play. Learn about this episode. And all of it coming together. But when you skip these episodes, it don't come together. And these holy days, like we here on the 8th day, we know why we here. We trying to get into that holy tabernacle, which the Father gonna bring down. I thank you for your time. This concludes the holy days of the year. And we try to get better and better each year.